What's up everybody, Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, coming at you with another video. Thank you all very much for taking time out of your busy schedules to check out one of my videos. I really appreciate it. Give this video a thumbing and or liking, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so, because I'd appreciate those things as well. I crossed over 26,000 subs. Somebody pointed that out to me on Twitter. That's fantastic. I'm really happy with that number. You know, I don't really have any goals or anything like that. It's always cool when somebody points out that I've kind of crossed a milestone. So thank you guys very much. On to today's topic. And it seems like Andrew House of Sony is actually becoming more and more like their Don Matrick, just kind of saying stupid things at very inopportune times. And he was recently doing an interview and he was talking about the PS4 Pro. And he said that the PS4 Pro wasn't misleading people because it can't do 4K games natively. It wasn't misleading at all, which I take kind of offense to that. I think that it is very misleading when you're pushing something as being a 4K device, and you're building this thing up like, oh, we're going into the future, 4K, and 4K movies and 4K gaming, and your console can't play 4K games natively or do 4K Blu-ray. I think that that's actually very misleading. The way they did that entire conference was very misleading, and I think that people are starting to notice that and kind of call Sony out on that. And the fact that Sony is like, well, we don't really consider that misleading. Just go back and look at the conference and see how they talked about things. They never really said, that there was anything. They were like rendering techniques and this kind of thing. You know what I mean? Oh, well, we're doing rendering techniques, and then everybody was tweeting out, play this game in 4K on the PS4 Pro. Play Call of Duty in 4K on the PS4 Pro. We kept hearing that. We kept hearing that over and over again. Checkerboarding this and checkerboarding that, and all this kind of stuff. That was just very kind of misleading in my opinion. And nobody seems to really call out anything that Sony does. Like, I was one of the ones that had called out Sony for the HDR stuff. Like, you can't do true HDR on HDMI 1.4. But again, none of the media called them out. They're just like, great, Sony, great on you. You do a fantastic job, Sony. It's wonderful. You guys rock. We love you. Thanks for giving us free HDR. When it's not even possible. Like, nobody actually questioned them about any of this stuff. So the fact that Andrew House is out there going, no, it's not false advertising, misleading, when you're sitting there saying 4K and you can't do 4K native, and you're like, well, play Resident Evil 4K or play this 4K or play Mass Effect 4K, and it's not. How is that not misleading? Like, people jump on Microsoft all the time for quote unquote misleading consumers or whatever, and nobody ever does that to Sony. And I just would love to see a situation where people actually did call out Sony and say, hey, you guys are kind of misleading people by letting them believe that you can do 4K gaming. And the sad fact of the matter is the PS4 Pro isn't a 4K capable console, and you're gonna have to wait till the Xbox Scorpio to do that, and then even then it's still up to developers. So I think to go around there and just kind of push stuff as 4K or whatever is just kind of ridiculous. And Sony, they've always been this way. They don't really care about the consumers or what anyone thinks. They've built their past successes on misleading consumers. I can still go back to that. Remember all the ducks in the bathtub on the PS2 with the emotion engine and all that stuff. What a bunch of crap that turned out to be. And then with the PS3, the 2005 stuff with, this is all in-game or whatever, in-engine. And they were showing that Killzone 2 stuff that was all CGI, and the Motorstorm stuff that was all CGI. And even with the PS4, they were showing, that Quantic Dream game with the wizard and all that. Like, that's all smoke and mirrors. That's what Sony does. They're smoke and mirrors, and they fool and mislead people. And they like doing that because it sells for them. They want people to buy into their hype machine, and they continually do for whatever reason, and I have no idea why. It's like there's a certain subsect that can see that Sony is kind of BSing their way around, and I'm one of those people. I think BGST, and I think you can't be like a blind fanboy. It's the same thing with Microsoft. Like, they're a good company. I like what they're doing because they're listening to gamers. But I don't for 1 second believe that they're 100%, care about what we want as consumers all the time. You know what I mean? It's like they want to make money. But the funny thing is, the trick to making money is listening to your consumers, and putting out games in a timely fashion, and affordability and power and all this kind of stuff that mixes up together. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Does Sony have their own Don Matrick now with Andrew House? Let me know. Sound off, comment, rate, subscribe. Rack 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crapgamer out.